What are you thinking about today?
All right, so I'm going to be planning, well, I haven't really thought too much about it yet, but last year I did FAME, 1 year, our first year team. We met a couple times, not as much as I wanted. And then this year, I pitched to my principal that I want to do a year 1 team with the new teachers, and then carry on the FAME 2 team, which would be the second years as well. And we would meet every other month. But then I kind of don't know what that looks like yet, so I haven't quite looked at scheduling. And then also the ones that we don't meet in school, we would meet together, one big group. So a year 1, year 2. I don't know what that would look like yet either. So it's still very much in the infancy stages.
So you've got 2 groups that you're trying to plan. You've got this year's group and you've got last year's group.
Yes.
Okay. And you want those to be able to concurrently grow in your group. When you think about the goals for both groups, what might be some of the important things that you want out of both groups?
Okay. Well, with my FAME, my second year FAME group, I think one of the initial goals is to kind of do some reflecting to see if we're still utilizing what we kind of journeyed through last year as a starting point. We started with feedback and learning targets, but now our school has initiated coming up with ICANN statements for all the Common Core standards, so we don't really need to focus so much on the learning targets, because we've already done that this summer. So with my year 1 team, and I've only invited 1 teacher so far, so I'm still kind of needing to invite some more new teachers, but just to kind of do almost like a pre-test to see where they're at on formative assessment and what they're already utilizing. See if they're even doing formative assessment. They're out of college, so maybe they already know more than I know.
So there's some strategies you're considering for that would be different. The goals will be different for group 1 than it would be for group 2.
Yes.
Group 1 is further along and has some more learning, where group 2 is further along and has more learning. Group 1 has more of just some of that beginning stages to
Right.
go through. As you consider strategies for both, what are some strategies that you're considering?
That's a good question. I haven't really considered any strategies yet. So I guess for year 2, my veterans that we met a little bit last year, I want them to do more reflecting. I don't do enough reflecting either, just of the lessons, because sometimes we'll look at a failed lesson or what we think is a failed lesson because of the data will say that not enough students are learning at a fast enough rate. And it might not be that the lesson was failed, it might be that they needed more scaffolding or different resources. So I definitely want to really look at the data to support why we think something is going well, because really it might not be. Right? That's a misconception, or why something the teacher thinks is not going well, which could also be a misconception. And just try to get some data behind it to support it. And then with the first group, I would really like to go into their classrooms and do some observations, just so I can take the kind of coaching to like another level with them. If they're receptive, I don't know if they will be or not.
So you value the teacher learning, and you feel like there's some strategies that you can solidify through some of the coaching.
Yes.
What might be some of their needs of you as you go forward through this process?
I think trust and rapport is going to be like the biggest. To know that whatever they come to me with, I'm not going to share that with the educational leader in any negative capacity, because I am on school improvement. I'm also on the leadership team. I'm also on the IRE team, and to know that they can trust any area that they're trying to grow. Because I want them to be, I don't want to necessarily say to be vulnerable, but to be honest, because teachers in my district tend to have low efficacy, where they don't want to take the blame if they've done something wrong. It's usually someone else. Not saying all the teachers, but so if they can trust me and open up, then we can maybe make those cognitive shifts in themselves, so they can even be better than what they are now.
So you have some knowledge of what they're like and what they value and how they responded to change in the past.
My year 2 team, yes.
Yeah.
my year one team, I don't know that much. As I'm still trying to create them, but even, because they're new teachers, so I don't really know their belief system, what they value, or been around them long enough to know. They just maybe complain, or maybe they're positive, I don't know.
So there's some new learning to do, and you recognizing that each group's going to have its own identity as it goes through.
Yes.
How might you compare how you prepared the first group with how you might prepare this group?
It's interesting. First group, I need a lot of coaching from Dr. Ellen to kind of help me facilitate. I hadn't been in that role before. And it was a huge learning experience for me. And I had to know, will these strong teachers who I asked and invited to do this FAME team, will they support me as a leader in this role? I'm not second guessing myself with the new team, because I already have some confidence in knowing what I'm doing. So the strategy will be totally different. Because I have a jumping point. I have a jumping off point with this group where we've already built some rapport and they've already kind of put themselves out on the line a little bit. So I think definitely different strategies.
So you feel it more efficacious
Yes.
with the second group than you did with your first.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what learning do you need to take away from that first group that's going to be most important for you to think of with this new group?
Well, one thing I learned from a mistake was could not cognitively coach the entire group. When I tried, I'm like, okay, I can't do that. And when I did try to have some meaningful conversations one-on-one in a group setting, what I needed to do is kind of like in the classroom, give them an alternate assignment to work on. So when I'm over here trying to talk to someone more in depth, I could do that without them piping in and taking the conversation to somewhere that was hard to pull back. So I will definitely be more mindful in that when I want to have those little moments to coach, just to get more information that the other group had of, like a homework assignment or something to occupy them to where it doesn't come back on me and what I'm trying to accomplish.
So you're making some connections between your classroom experience of Confirm and how you're going to grow this group as well, and what you learned from your previous group.
Yeah.
So what might be some ways that you'll ensure that you take that learning into this next group?
I think I need to establish some criteria for myself just to make sure that I have a pretty good plan going in so nothing gets skewed. Because people come in with their ideas, which is good to have ideas, but I don't ever want it to take my vision off course because I know where I want it to go, and I would rather a teacher kind of enhance that versus throw me off track. So I might establish a criteria for myself, like a little checkpoint or a plan. I can say, okay, this is what I need to feel like this is successful and to move me along.
So a checkpoint or some kind of checklist for you visually to make sure that now that you're in year 2 of this, you've got some very concrete ideas, a stronger vision of where you want to go.
Right.
And so you value some kind of interim assessment, some kind of self-regulation
Yeah.
in terms of getting there.
I might even kind of plan some things out in the year already that I have in my head and say, okay, I really want to make this happen. Then by January, I need to take these steps because I get real busy and I don't want it to sneak up on me. I would like to get permission from my colleagues to come in and videotape. I would like for them to come into my room and videotape. I want to see what I look like. I want to grow and learn as well. So if I need to do that, I need to look ahead and say, what do I need to put in place to kind of get me to that point? And then how will I use it? How will that be purposeful?
So you value having the end goal in mind and being able to backtrack and be able to make checkpoints, being able to make some understandings of some ways of making sure that you're staying on your target, because your vision of what the end product is going to be is so clear this time around.
Yes.
How has your thinking changed through our conversation?
Drastically. From infancy to, I actually have some ideas now that I need to jot down very quickly so I don't lose it and kind of piece it together. So it's been helpful. Thank you.